you're thinking about moving to the new Smyrna Beach area, today we're going to be touring some neighborhood areas. We're going to go beachside and see some of the best attractions, which are like walking trails, outdoor activities, boating, and of course the beach. So let's go see some of those things right now. If you're new to the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in New Smyrna Beach, you've come to the right place. My name's Rachel Ecoff and my husband Matt is a local real estate expert, and we're going to show you some of the best neighborhoods and hottest spots around town. We get phone calls, text messages, and emails every day from people just like you, so whether you're looking to move in 2 days, 20 days, or even 200 days, please don't hesitate to reach out because we would love to help you move to the beach. We're going to talk a little bit about things that Matt knows about the current market and real estate in New Smyrna Beach, and just give like an overall view of what that looks like right now and some of the things that are happening in New Smyrna, some of the development that's going on Beachside, and just some of our pros and cons about what we like about living here and some things that we think are drawbacks for some people. So Matt, you want to talk a little bit about what it looks like right now?
Sure. So first thing to know about New Smyrna Beach, it's only a population of about 35,000 people, so it's not a big city. It's a coastal city, so you take away, the population basically east from the ocean all the way around. Most cities are going to be circle. We're going to be more of a half moon because you have the ocean stopping us. So New Smyrna is divided into 5 sections. You have mainland New Smyrna Beach, you have Bethune Beach, you have South Beach, you have Middle, Central Beach, and then you have North Beach. So depending on where you want to live is going to depend on the price point that you're going to be at. So for example, mainland New Smyrna Beach, the average median home just falls under just a little under $400,000. It's $395,000 was the average median home last year sold in New Smyrna Beach. It's a huge jump once you get Beachside, which is an island. Beachside is 12 miles long. I'll start with North Beach, which is obviously the north part of New Smyrna Beach. It goes for 3 miles. Only 2 miles of that are residential. A mile of that is Smyrna Shores, or Smyrna Dunes, which we'll do a little bit of video shooting there later on. So a mile of that Smyrna Dunes, you only have 2 miles of residential. The average price in North Beach is $1,090,000. That's a big jump from any of the other areas. Mainland, like I said, is just shy of $400,000, $395,000. Central Beach is $867,000. That's only a mile wide and a mile long. And then you have South Beach, which runs about 6 miles. So South Beach has an average of $725,000 median home last year. Bethune Beach is $837,000, while Central Beach is $839,000. Now, Central Beach and Bethune Beach are extremely similar in the fact that there's a lot of development right now. There's a lot of tear downs, older homes being torn down, and custom builders coming in and building mega homes. That's something actually that I specialize in. Specifically, I have contracts with numerous builders in the area, big custom home builders, and I find off-market properties for them, depending on the location that a homeowner wants to live in or move into, and then find them that property and go after some current residents that are living in those areas for redevelopment opportunities. That's what we like to call them rather than tear down. So again, we split up. We got mainland, we have North Beach, we have Central Beach, we have South Beach, and then we have Bethune Beach. That's really what New Smyrna Beach is made out of. So
it's all on the same island.
Well, mainland's not, but the island part is correct. Bethune, South Beach, Central Beach, and North Beach all fall.
They all just kind of run into each other.
Yeah, the island's only 12 miles long, so it's pretty tight area, and there's no real like HOA communities and stuff like that like there are in the mainland. Mainland, it's got master plan communities like Venetian Bay. We've done some videos there. Which is great community, shopping plaza, a lot of eclectic mix of homes, townhomes, apartments, huge builds, private sub-communities inside of there. We have Sugar Mill, which is unbelievable, the best golfing in New Smyrna Beach by far. A very golf-centric community. You have Coastal Woods, which is very new build, a lot more affordable, but very central. And a lot of other developments on the mainland as well. But again, it's the difference between mainland living and beachside living is a huge difference. It's a huge difference in cost too.
You are going to find HOAs in condominiums and condo buildings, but not really in just freestanding neighborhoods.
Yeah, Mainland is not going to have any condos. All the condos are going to be on the ocean or right across the street from the ocean. So, some of the pros about living beachside is, you are close to the beach. You're close to, depending on if you live in North Beach or Central Beach, you're really close to the amenities as far as a walk or a golf cart ride or a bicycle ride to, restaurants, shops, ice cream shops, coffee, boutiques, art, shows, all that kind of different stuff. Rather, South Beach, you're going to have a 5 to 10 minute drive, not a big deal, but it's not going to be nearly as close as some of the, some of the stuff. And yeah, definitely. Central Beach and North Beach are a lot walkable, but you're going to pay for that as well. Mainland, you're not going to pay nearly that cost, but you're still only a 10-minute drive. So, you can look at that as a pro or a con. You get Venetian Bay, which is as far west in Smyrna Beach that you can get. On a weekend day, you're looking at a 30-minute drive. It's only 8 miles, but you could be a 30-minute drive just because of the traffic coming in and out of the beach. Anyway, we're at Toni and Joe's patio bar. I'm going to show you just real fast. There's the beach. So we're literally we're on the ocean.
And this place is really just snacks, drinks, lunch style food.
They have the best Sunday brunch though in all of New Smyrna Beach. So their Sunday brunch is off the chain.
Mainland versus living beachside. Do you feel like it's definitely more expensive to live beachside? Do you feel like you get a lot more pros for living on this side of the island?
Oh, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking to retire, you want something that's affordable, and you still want to be close to the beach. Volusia County residents starting October 1st, which is less than a month from now, October 1st, 2024, Volusia County residents will have free access to the beach. So, you want to live mainland, you want to be more affordable. I know I play tennis with retirees that, do live mainland and we're able to buy something very affordable and be able to retire comfortably. Where beachside, unless you have a good amount of money with an average, a median house sale last year being $1,090,000 in North Beach, you have to be doing pretty well for yourself to be able to retire here. Not to say that people don't do it, because they do it all the time.
They do, but it's not to say either that it's an impossible feat to live on the mainland. We have a plethora of different style homes, different ages of homes, people coming in and wanting to renovate the older ranch style homes. So every now and then you've got a deal that comes in the mid 500s, 400s to renovate. Now it's a project for sure, but it's still something that's doable, and that people are definitely doing. A lot of people are using that for redevelopment purposes, like you said earlier. People are tearing some of those older homes down to build a new mega mansion-looking thing, which we'll drive by and see some of those elements.
Yeah. Well, you also think about mainland too. What if you're a retiree and the beach is, you like to come every once in a while, but golf's your thing? Then Sugar Mill or Venetian Bay is absolutely going to be your place, because now you're on the golf course, you're in a country club community, with, I don't remember how many members exactly that Sugar Mill has, but it's a small, it's a tight-knit community. Everybody knows each other there. There's tennis, there's pickleball, and so if that's something that you want, then Sugar Mill is on the mainland is perfect for you. It's super quiet. It's actually one of the quietest neighborhoods in the entire United States. So, and there's some great houses in there. So, that's a pro living mainland. And then of course you have stuff like Venetian Bay, which is also a huge master plan community with 27 holes of golf, so you can mix it up. It does have tennis courts there. It has a community pool there. We have a whole video on Venetian Bay, so you can check that out. And actually we have a whole video on Sugar Mill as well, so you can definitely check both of those out. So it's just a matter of, what's your preference? What's your lifestyle? We are more active by the beach. Our daughter surfs, I surf. We enjoy walking every morning to the ocean, so we do live beachside. So that's something that we desire. I'm not a golfer. So maybe if I was, then I would want to live in Sugar Mill or Venetian Bay. That's just not something for me, because I don't do things that test my patience. So, but also mainland has Canal Street too. Just a drop of dime to Canal Street, where we don't have that. We have Flagler Avenue, which is awesome, of course, but we're not nearly as close to Canal as some of the mainland.
But Canal Street, from where we are currently, is on the other side of the North Causeway Bridge, and it's got just as many restaurants and shopping on Canal Street as you do here on Flagler, and we're not even a mile away from it. So really, you have a lot of options.
In fact, Canal Street was where the first settlers in the late 1700s, when we were established as a city, came and started, because the railroad track is right there.
Yeah.
And so the railroad, brought in booming business, and so Canal Street is very historic. There's a lot of art centers there. There's a lot of history there. There's the fort there, which the fort is, there's a lot of mystery about the fort. It's pretty freaking cool. There's a ton of mystery behind it, but they actually think it's the place that Christopher Columbus landed. Now, St. Augustine, which is about 45 to 50 minutes north of here, is the oldest city in the nation, but it's the oldest established city. They actually think Christopher Columbus landed in New Smyrna Beach. It just was too young to establish, and so it didn't actually become a city itself until a little bit later on. So,
and they are recently excavating that area.
Yeah, because they find new stuff all the time.
New little things that are going on over there all the time. So there's a lot of history in New Smyrna Beach. So if you're a history buff, it is kind of some cool stuff down here.
And art too. Art festivals, Bob Ross started in New Smyrna Beach, and he has a little art center here. So arts, outdoor living, history.
We've got lots of parades that happen on Flagler and Canal. Have, like you said, a bunch of art festivals. We have a wine walk that happens
every other Saturday. Every other Saturday is the wine walk.
And it's cool. They'll shut down Flagler Avenue, and you can walk up and down Flagler and taste different wines, or sometimes it's margaritas depending on the season. There's a lot of festivals and fun things to do down here. It's pretty busy consistently.
Yeah.
There's stuff for pretty much anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're gonna take around today's agenda. We're gonna take a tour of North Beach. We're gonna take a tour and a drive around Central Beach. We're gonna take a tour and a drive around South Beach, as well as Bethune. We're gonna go to the mainland. We're gonna cover a little bit of Flagler Avenue, a little bit of Canal. The main things that New Smyrna Beach is known for, and maybe Dune Park, and maybe we're gonna find some. Maybe we'll find some exciting things. Hopefully some things will happen spontaneous. I'm going to rerun the camera all day today. So I'm normally behind the camera, which is where I belong. She's normally in front of the camera, which is where she belongs. So we're going to enjoy a good lunch, and I look forward to spending the day with you.
So right now we are farthest north that you can get in New Smyrna Beach. We're in the Inlet Dunes Park. It's got walking trails, it's got biking trails, and it actually ends out at the Jetties, which you can see later in the video. It's a dog-friendly beach, it's a kid-friendly beach, family-friendly. It's really got a lot of things to offer. So let's go see some of what this beach has to offer us. Oh, if you look right behind me, I don't know if you can see it, you can actually see Ponce Inlet from here, which is cool. That's the historic lighthouse. It used to be on our side, and then a hurricane a long time ago took it out, and it got moved to the other side of the peninsula. So once we get out to the beach, you're gonna be able to see how cool that looks from there. So one of the pros for living in New Smyrna Beach is that you have a unlimited amount of outdoor activity spaces that you can go and see and be part of, like this where we're at right now. We're still in the Dunes Park. It is a wildlife preserve, so everything that's behind us you can't walk on because it's protected sanctuary for gopher tortoises, and there are sea turtles that do nesting out here back behind me. And you can see Ponce Inlet over here. That's the intercoastal way, and that's where all of our any ships, cargo ships, anybody who's going out into the ocean, which you can see right behind me, and we'll see the jetties in a minute when we go out to the beach. That's where all of your boating activities and everything is over there. It's super quiet out here, so if you're looking just to be peaceful and do outdoor activities that are quiet and relaxing, this is definitely the place for you. Pro is surfing, con is we are the shark bite capital of the world. So we're at the dog beach right now. We call it the dog beach because this is the side of the beach that's pet friendly, and there is I forgot to mention there's a fee to get into this state park side of the beach. It's $10, but you can also get an annual pass It's the same price as the other side down at the whole other end of the island. So it's like $40 for the year, but definitely worth it if you were planning on bringing your little dog friends out to hang out in the water and do family activities. You can see down here, this is part of the intercoastal, and this is a great space. This is where people usually come out to do jet skiing, kayaking, water sports. New Smyrna Beach is a huge water sports and boating community. So you're gonna see a ton of people just up and down here, all the way into the riverside of New Smyrna, and it's really, really great, relaxing. Tons of fishing, so if you are really into fishing, this is your place. And I'm gonna show you another spot down by the jetties that a lot of local people use for fishing as well. Some areas are kind of tricky to get through, so you gotta weave and bob to get through some of this. We're as far north in New Smyrna Beach as you can be, and you can tell because our neighbors Ponce Inlet are right here behind me. So we are absolutely as far north as you can be in North Beach, New Smyrna Beach. We're on the dog beach. We've seen lots of furry friends out here having a good day. The weather's wonderful. Lots of water activities, and behind me you can see that's Ponce Inlet's jetties that connect over to New Smyrna Beach's jetties over here on the right side. Every time we come out here, we get some sort of different scenery. We're on a sandbar right now, and you can tell like it does like a big drop off, and then it goes back out into the intercoastal water. But it's really neat because you never know what you're gonna see or find when you come out to one of these beaches. The landscape is always a little bit different. Today our water is not the best because there is a storm off of the coast of Florida, which we can talk about as another con, if you will, for New Smyrna. We do get storm weather sometimes. We do get concerned about hurricanes, but we can talk more about hurricane safety and preparedness on another video. Pretty sure if you're moving to Florida, you're well aware that we get storms and we get hurricanes. Most of the time, we don't get hit very hard where we're at on the East Coast because we're kind of right in the middle of Florida. We tend to get storms that go up around us and then hit North Carolina or go back out into the Gulf. So a lot of the time, we've been really, really lucky with not getting terrible storms, but the weather does affect our tide, as you can see. Most of the time out here, we've got really, really nice bluish green water. Today it's a little more murky. It's still pretty clear, but you never know what you're gonna find when you come out here. We also have a bunch of hawks out here. Good for bird watching. If you're into bird watching, Florida has a bunch of different types of birds, and these are a type of sea hawk that lives out here. Sometimes we see them out on the bridges, and they fly over with big fish and things that they've caught. Really pretty though, but kind of scary. So over here, you can see behind me is the Jetties, and it separates the dog dune beach from the regular public beach. And you'll also notice that this side of the beach is a no drive beach, which is really great for family and kids. That's why a lot of families will choose to hang out on this side of the beach, because they don't have to worry about traffic or cars. The other side of the beach is a lot more lively. But what I want to highlight behind me is the Jetties. This is where a lot of people will fish from. And it's also the main reason why New Smyrna Beach is called the shark bite capital of the world. We do have sharks because this is the ocean. But the thing about the sharks that live over here is that they're usually not going to attack or bite people to kill them. They're usually out here feeding. And people who are in the water, a lot of the surfers like the surf over here because the waves are really good. But because people are fishing in the water right here, they mistake somebody for food and they bite you and swim off. So it's non-lethal bites, but still a shark bite nonetheless. We have black tip sharks and nurse sharks mainly that live over here in New Smyrna. We do occasionally get a larger shark, and they're probably, 20 miles off the coast. Sometimes we get them inland, bigger ones, but it's more of a rare occasion that we see that. But that would be a con, if you will. If you are afraid of sharks, do not get in the water, especially not over here. So behind me, you can see our neighborhood, our neighboring cities. You can see Ponce Inlet. You can see it go all the way down, all the way into Daytona Beach. So we'll cover some of those places in a later video, but that's how much you can see on a clear day. You can see all the way to our neighboring cities, which is pretty cool. We're in Central Beach in New Smyrna Beach, Florida. Central Beach is the center part of the island. It is exactly a mile wide by a mile long. So it's kind of this little square in the middle of the island. It's super busy over here during spring break or any kind of vacation times, holiday times. So if you're not looking to be in the middle of the action, this is probably not for you. But if you are, the great thing about it is it does have short-term rental possibilities. So right here you can see we have the North Causeway Bridge. And on this side, you can see the South Causeway Bridge, maybe just barely. But we're just centered right between both of those areas. So that's where Central Beach is located, between the two bridges that come on and off of the island, which are your only ways on and off of the island anyway. So the median price point for Central Beach is about $839,000. And it's only going to be going up from that price point because of things like this home behind me right here that just got redone. They did a tear down of a home and then rebuilt this. So that's the kind of thing that's going on right now in Central Beach. The homes like the one behind me are one of the reasons that prices are going to be going up in Central Beach, because people are going and doing redevelopment. That is something that Matt specializes in. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely contact him. What usually happens is there's a house that, there could be a number of things that could have happened, a death in the family or divorce, or just somebody is moving out of state, or anything in that area where the home doesn't even go on the market. That's usually what people are looking for. And then they're going to tear that house down and then build something just like what's behind me right here. So that's kind of the direction that Central Beach is moving. So we've got a lot of older, smaller homes that are being torn down, repurposed, and redone to bring in new life into the Central Beach area. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons of living in Central Beach. One of the pros of living in Central Beach is that you are close to everything. Remember, it's only a mile wide and a mile long, so you're close to our shopping center with Publix and those kind of things, which is a grocery store. And then you're close to Flagler Avenue and access to both of the bridges on and off the island. Something that can be a pro or a con, depending on how you look at it, is short-term rental. There's no restrictions on short-term rental in Central or even in South Beach. However, it does affect the amount of people that come in and out of Central Beach during the busiest times of the year, which can be spring break, bike week, and the Daytona 500. We get a lot of influx of people visiting the island for that time. It's great for people who have rental property. They're making between 5 to 12 grand a month during those times. However, it can be a little taxing on some of the neighbors who are living here full time. You might not want to be in an area that you know people are going to be in and out of. So this is an example over here of a monthly vacation rental. Again, in Central Beach, there are no restrictions on your rental time, but in North Beach, there are rental restrictions. So you have to rent for a month at a time versus renting just a few days to a week at a time. So behind me, you can see some condos, and they do have some different restrictions on them, and they're not like the freestanding homes out here. So you're going to have, especially during the busy season, which is January up into springtime, you're going to have at least a 2 weeks to a month rental minimum. But if you're in a house and you're looking for a rental property to rent out during any time of the year, you don't have any restrictions on it. You can rent 2 days, a week, a month, whatever you want to do. And that's really great for rental income. Can be a nuisance for neighbors. And that's what's happening in Central Beach right now. Okay, so we're in South Beach right now. South Beach does include Bethune, but that portion, Bethune and all the way to the very end of the island, is a much higher price point than what you're going to find in South Beach. South Beach's median price point is $725,000. There is some homes that are being renovated and then torn down or remodeled or repurposed. For example, what's behind me right now, they took a house down and then rebuilt this. So there is some of that happening. It's just not as prevalent over here as it is in North Beach. A lot of what you're going to see as far as redevelopment is going to be more on the other side of A1A, which is this direction. And that's all oceanfront property. So that's why it's being redeveloped. A lot of homes that are being torn down for redevelopment are like what are behind me right here. This house is for sale, and that's typically what you're going to see. You're not going to do as well as rental in this area. Not to say that you can't, but it's just not as conveniently located to restaurants and businesses and things like that. You can golf cart ride to some of that, but it's not as easily accessible. Again, nothing is actually that far away. I can actually see the beach from here, so it is walkable. It's just not as close to restaurants and things. So a fun fact of Coronado Beach Elementary is that it is our only school on the island, but it is also a public school. So you have to be zoned for the island 32169 to attend that school. But it's really great. A lot of the kids that go to this school we're all neighbors, and even my daughter can like walk to her friend's house, and it's just a really fun, great community. The school is small, obviously, because there's not a ton of people that live on our island. And then there are also private schools that are on the mainland. There are some options for that, but we love Coronado, and it's been really great for us.